In part 3 of our Black History interview, Katrina Adams addresses the next generation and how they are achieving greatness. Let's fast forward to the current crop of young Black players, and it's just kind of amazing looking at who's out there now, from not as an American and not as a female, Felix out there, Layla out there, and I'm talking about, from personal knowledge, at the Junior Tennis Champion Center at JTCC, Robin Montgomery and Frances Tiafoe. And why don't you talk about what you see, the opportunities and the growth of more young Black players on the tour globally too? And are we the leader?
Well, I think it's been phenomenal. When you talk about the WTA, I mean, look at the success. Yeah, there was a long gap from Althea, but then, it wasn't the WTA tour then. But from Althea to Leslie, Kim, and Renee, and Diana Morrison that I mentioned earlier, to then Camille Benjamin, Zena Garrison, Lori, myself, Chanda Rubin, to then Venus, Serena, Jerry Ingram, Stacey Martin, and a couple others. The bad thing is that I can actually name all of them. So for probably 4 decades, but I can't keep up with them now. And I think that's a great thing as far as our women of color that are out really playing on the WTA tour or just below it. And I think that's a testament to the growth and the development of being diverse and inclusive on the tour, with the opportunities of these players developing at a younger age, and then many of them have gone on to play on the collegiate level before going out on tour. So, when you look at our champions, of Sloane Stephens, who is a US Open champion, and Madison Keys, who got to her first final there against Sloane in 2017, and then looking at how, 10 years later, or however many, 5 years later, for Madison getting back to a semifinal of a Grand Slam, it's huge. And it's really, these are the players that are pushing that next group of young players. Venus and Serena elevated our sport tremendously here in America, in particular for girls of color. And then of which Sloane and Madison were beneficiaries of that. And now they have some younger players that they are inspiring to come up behind them. And so I think it's been great. I think we have a long way to go on the men's side, particularly on the professional tour. I mean, right now we have Frances Tiafoe and Michael Moe and Chris Eubanks. Donald Young is the veteran of those people for African Americans, but then you still have Gail Monfils, who's been resurging as a Black player from France, and I see Jolie Songa is making a comeback from injury as well. So, but again, I can name them on one hand, and it's the next crop that we're looking for, not just here in America, but really globally. These athletes of color, Black men who are great athletes, who can definitely be unbelievable tennis players. The Emer brothers from Sweden, seeing their emergence in the last couple months. I mean, the last couple of years, you've seen them slowly progress, but now they're putting a foothold on the ATP tour now. And I think it's great. And I think it's only going to get stronger, and the numbers are going to grow over time.
And what I've been really impressed with, and it's from knowing Frances myself, is the willingness of all the Black players to give back to youth and to others and to become role models themselves. Can you talk about that a little bit, from what you've seen from Naomi Osaka on, and including all of these young people?
Yeah, I think all the players of color understand their roles. And, Naomi Osaka has definitely been a leader in that regard, particularly a couple of years ago when she was speaking out against social justice and being that leader as a Black woman. And so it really brought a lot of admiration from so many people, not just from her own race and but also, or ethnicity, but from around the world, of people supporting these issues going forward. But we all know that we have a sense of responsibility, because when you're the only one, all eyes are on you, and everyone is looking to see what you can do or what you're going to do. And so the positive thing is to go out there and win and be able to pull a new crop of youth into our sport who want to be like us. And I think that's something that is a great honor, but it also comes with a lot of pressure. And, nobody did it better than Arthur Ashe back in the 60s and 70s, winning the first US Open and then going on to win Wimbledon in 75, Davis Cup, team player, captain, etc. And he did it with dignity while he was still fighting for justice off the court. And so, and I think that's where, someone like a Francis Tiafoe, who stepped up 2 years ago to rackets up, hands down, to raise awareness for our sport or for athletes in general in fighting for social justice. And that will continue because we'll always have those issues globally. It's just how we approach it and what the message is behind it.
Well, thanks so much. And let me just say this. I think that we have 250 NJTLs. And speaking on behalf of all of them, just think if we get 250 kids eventually coming through, one from each of those chapters, we are going to be at the top of our game for Black History Month for the future. And we're going to be telling a lot of great stories. So thanks for everything you do. And thanks to everyone else who's helping to bring us forward in a remarkable way.
No, thank you for your time, Sarah. It's a great subject. It's an important subject. And, and hopefully we'll have more Black kids, boys and girls, men and women that are at the professional level that we can talk about this every month and not just Black History Month.